Clara Mitchell had built a life that seemed perfect, a life many would envy. At 34, she was a successful architect, married to Daniel, a 37-year-old charismatic real estate mogul. Their 12-year relationship was the definition of stability. They had met in graduate school, Clara, the introverted genius, and Daniel, the outgoing, charming entrepreneur. Together, they founded a luxury design firm, balancing their careers and love for over a decade. But things started to shift when Daniel's business trips to Dubai became more frequent. One evening, as Clara scrolled through Instagram, she stumbled across a post from Lily Carter, a 24-year-old influencer. The photo showed a limited edition Rolex watch, accompanied by the caption, "To my future hubby, thanks for the Dubai souvenir." The location tag? Their private penthouse in Miami. Clara's heart dropped. The watch in Lily's photo was identical to the one Daniel had gifted her last month, except hers was a counterfeit. Determined to uncover the truth, Clara began investigating. She reactivated her dormant TikTok account, posting a video dissecting luxury watches. Within hours, her followers pointed out that Lily's Rolex was authentic, while Clara's watch was flagged as a fake. Meanwhile, Daniel grew more distant. He installed security cameras in their bedroom, claiming it was for burglary concerns. But Clara discovered deleted texts on his phone that read, "Lily, the cameras are proof I'm not with her. Meet me in Miami." That night, during a charity gala, Clara confronted Daniel in front of their friends and colleagues. She leaned in, whispering with a smile, "Who's Lily?" Daniel froze, spilling champagne down his tuxedo. "Just a client," he stammered. Clara laughed, her voice bright and loud, drawing the attention of the crowd. "Funny," she said, "she thinks you're her fiancé." Clara hired a private investigator, and the truth came crashing down. Lily was pregnant, and worse, Daniel had transferred company shares to her, funding her lavish lifestyle. Furious, Clara retaliated by leaking fake financial reports, destroying Daniel's business. Investors pulled out, and the media quickly branded him as the Dubai deceiver. Desperate, Daniel begged Clara to save the company. "Sign this," he said, handing her a document, "and we can rebuild everything together." Clara slid a set of divorce papers across the table instead. "Sign these," she said calmly, "or I'll expose your offshore accounts." He refused, but Clara had already frozen his assets, ensuring his financial downfall. Lily, now ostracized online, confronted Clara in a hotel lobby. "You ruined us," she screamed. Clara smirked, adjusting the real Rolex on her wrist. "Sweetheart," she said, "he ruined himself. But enjoy the baby, DNA tests are such a hassle." Daniel spiraled further. Broke and disgraced, he turned to alcohol, while Lily left him, revealing that the child wasn't his. In a drunken rage, Daniel attacked her, landing himself in jail. The trial went viral, and Clara's TikTok videos, chronicling the entire saga, became a sensation. Years passed, and Clara's life had evolved into something unrecognizable from the days when she was trapped in a web of lies. Her design firm was thriving, gaining international recognition for its commitment to sustainable architecture. She was content, fulfilled, and had built a new life, one that centered on her passions and her new family. Sophia, her adopted daughter, had grown into a curious and bright 7-year-old who loved drawing, often sketching designs that Clara would proudly hang in her office. One day, Clara received an unexpected message from an anonymous email. It was a cryptic note that simply read, "You've won, Clara. But the past never stays buried for long. Be careful." Clara's heart raced, but she brushed it off as a prank, until she received another message the following week. This time, it was a photo of her childhood home, taken from across the street. A message followed, "You thought you could escape, but your past is never really gone." She called her assistant and asked to have her security system checked, but nothing seemed amiss. Her life, for all its success and tranquility, was suddenly at risk again. Clara had hoped she'd never hear from Daniel again, but fate had other plans. The phone call came late one night, one she knew would change everything. "Clara," Daniel's voice was hoarse, filled with regret, "I need to see you. Please, for once, just hear me out." Clara was silent, the memory of everything he had done flooding back. Still, she didn't hang up. "What do you want, Daniel?" I've spent years in prison thinking about my mistakes." "You were right all along," he admitted. "Lily wasn't the answer. She wasn't the future I thought she'd be. I lost everything, my company, my dignity, and most of all, you." Clara felt a mix of emotions. Part of her wanted to scream at him, to remind him of the years he had stolen from her, but she remained calm. "What are you asking, Daniel?" "I want to make amends. I can't fix the past, but I can fix this. I found something that might be connected to the people who tried to destroy you, and me. I need your help." Clara was quiet, her mind racing. Her first instinct was to shut him down, to ignore his plea. But the mention of something tied to their past caught her attention. Could this be connected to the mysterious messages? Was there more to his downfall than she had ever realized? Reluctantly, Clara agreed to meet Daniel, but only under strict conditions. She made sure to inform her trusted friends, including Sophia's teacher, about her whereabouts. If things went south, she'd be ready. The rendezvous took place at a neutral location, a quiet cafe on the outskirts of the city. Clara arrived first, her sharp eyes scanning the room. Daniel walked in, looking gaunt, his once charming face now marked by the passage of time. He looked different, broken, but still holding on to that glimmer of arrogance she had once loved. He sat down across from her, his eyes searching hers, as if trying to read her every thought. "I know I don't deserve your forgiveness," he started, his voice rough. "But this isn't about us anymore. It's about something bigger, something that ties back to those who took everything from us." Clara leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. "What do you mean? Who else is involved?" Daniel glanced around nervously before pulling out a small envelope from his jacket. He slid it across the table to her. "This is everything. It's a list of people who were involved in orchestrating the smear campaign against you. I thought I knew who I could trust, but I was wrong. They used us both." Clara's hands shook as she opened the envelope, finding a series of names, investors, business partners, and even a few high-profile figures. Some of them were people she'd never suspected. The realization hit her hard, the betrayal had been deeper than she could have imagined. It wasn't just Daniel who had failed her, it was a network of people who had pulled the strings to tear them both apart. Clara knew what she had to do. She couldn't let these people get away with it. She would bring the truth to light, on her own terms. She turned to Daniel, her eyes hard. "You've done enough damage, Daniel. I'll handle this from here. Your apology, no matter how sincere, won't change what you've done. But I will make sure the truth comes out." Daniel's face fell, and for a moment, Clara almost felt pity for him. But the bitterness she had lived with for so long was stronger. "You're not getting a second chance with me. The past is behind me now, and I intend to leave it there." Daniel looked down, defeated, but Clara could see the flicker of regret in his eyes. "I understand," he whispered. "I just wanted to warn you. They'll come after you." Clara smiled, her resolve unwavering. "Let them try." Clara took the list of names and began her own investigation, digging deeper than she had ever done before. She was methodical, careful, and relentless in her pursuit of justice. With her design firm booming, she had the resources and the connections to expose the truth. In time, she uncovered the full extent of the conspiracy against her and Daniel. Through clever manipulation and careful positioning, Clara was able to expose the people behind the plot. The media caught wind of the scandal, and once again, the world watched as the powerful fell from grace. As for Daniel, he faded into obscurity, his name forever tarnished. Clara had no more use for him. With her past finally laid to rest, Clara moved forward with her life. She poured her energy into the sustainable projects she believed in and focused on raising Sophia in a home filled with love and security. For the first time in years, she felt at peace. Her story was one of resilience, a woman who had been torn apart, only to rebuild herself into something stronger, something unbreakable. And as she looked out at the skyline from her office, Clara knew one thing for sure: she was the architect of her own fate, and no one could ever take that away from her. In a final, poetic twist, Clara received a letter from Lily years later. It was short and simple: "I've changed. I'm sorry for everything." Clara didn't hesitate. She didn't need to respond. Instead, she sent a donation to a women's shelter in Lily's name, with a note: "Some lessons are learned the hard way. I hope you find your way out of the shadows." The past was over. Clara was free. And for the first time in a long time, Clara was living the life she had always deserved. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please hit the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear what you think. Your feedback really helps me create better content for you. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. Thanks again and see you in the next video. Take care.